Good afternoon, everyone. It's about nearly 2:45 here on Friday the 18th of September. And I'm looking at VectorVest USA. Market's been open nearly 15 minutes. As you can see, the advances and the declines pretty much the same, but nevertheless the short-term measures of the trend on VectorVest are positive, where the buy-sell ratio in particular is showing a green light. That means that it's up day over day and week over week, a good signal. Nevertheless, the longer term measures of the trend on VectorVest are in fact down, and you can see that red confirmed down in place here. So let's just have a look at the trends in the marketplace, and that's the VectorVest composite, and that's the breadth of the market that is sitting just above 1 at the moment on at 1.08, 1 being the center line. That's a sell-off. If I put on the confirmed calls, let's go to 6 months. We can't even see the sell-off now. 6 months, doesn't time fly? There is the confirmed down and the confirmed up that occurred on the 18th of May, and as you can see, we've got this confirmed down signal a couple of days ago. So the longest measure of the trend on VectorVest is down. Ladies and gentlemen, just remember how easy it was to make money in this period when the trend of the longer term trend of the market was at our back. Okay, so I'm now going to go to 6 months again. I'll put on the shorter term measure of the trend, or a medium term measure of the trend, known as the DEW, and it turned up, it turned down here on the 24th of February, excellent signal, and it turned up here on the 6th of April. That's the signal that I took. DEW particularly good after a big sell-off. The first signal after a big sell-off, the DEW produces an excellent signal. Market was also making a rising bottom, quite an easy signal to take as signals go. Folks, again, the DEW made printed a sell signal on the 8th. This market been going sideways now. Now today, as I've said already, the shorter term measures of the trend are positive, but these longer term measures are down, and I'll say it again, just remember how easy it was to make money in this period, and at VectorVest we firmly believe that there's a safe time to be in the market and there's an awful time to be in the market. If you are a medium to long-term investor, then trends, ladies and gentlemen, are simply down, and you should wait for them to turn. When the short-term trend is in sync with the longer-term measures, then it becomes quite easy to make money in markets. At the moment, there's a great deal of noise. Let's just have a look at what this thing is doing, and markets have been up and down and in and out over the last couple of days. So if you want to avoid this, I suggest that you wait until at least the DEW turns back up, and then I think we should have some plain sailing, I hope, into the US elections. I'm not, in fact, in my own book, I'm not particularly discounting a quick run down first before moving up again. So I haven't taken that off the picture. Let's have a look at my favorite, which is, as you know, the SPX. I've been trading this thing. I think I had hair when I first started to trade this thing. I tend to trade the SPX intraday, and if I'm holding positions for more than a day, I tend to trade the Dow. So I've got two vehicles, and that's the situation, folks. The line in the sand here is 3425. As you can see, my 21 and 55 still positive, and the 55 gave a really good support level here and here. So 3425, and I think we're away here. If I put on the stochastic, you can see the stochastic is right down in a buy area, and the stochastic in fact is showing a reverse divergence for those of you that have done my courses and come to the user groups. But as I say, I'm not discounting a run down till about 3.2 before that happens. If we go to a little bit, if I put on from this low, that's the June low. And I run again my dear friend Fibonacci up. I can see the 61% retracement comes in at 3200, which is that old high. So I wouldn't be at all surprised to see a leg down here to 32, ladies and gentlemen, to scare the cats and the dogs before it actually pushes up into I think a blow off to the upside October, November time. I could be completely wrong. But at the moment, the DEW and the confirmed call on VectorVest is down. Those are signals that if they're at your back, it's relatively easy to make money on the long side of markets. So just be careful unless you're an exceptionally strong at risk management and a very strong trader over 2 or 3 days. So I have 2 positions that I bought, probably a little impetuously, I suppose. And am I in the right place? I am. When the short-term trend turned up 2-3 days ago, I bought into apps, which I really like. RV at 1.67, growth rate of 50% next year, and it was doing all the right things for me. It's on a buy recommendation. And REGI has been the highest VST stock in VectorVest for many a long day. As you can see, the VSTs of both those stocks right up there at 1.63. So those shares looking okay, and they're up a little bit today. Let's just chart them quickly for the fun of it. And that's apps. And going like a rocket. This has been a great stock. Those of you that know my work will know that that is what is known as a Wyckoff spring, as was this, David, a Wyckoff spring made famous by Richard Wyckoff about 100 years ago. Who says things have changed? The 21 and the 55 went down here, and I didn't get in. I got in about here very impetuously as it, I think, broke up through those highs, and I'm still holding that little bit of a position. It's gone quite a long way, and as you can see, maybe I'll show you now if I pull up this fib. As you can see, it's broken through the 127 extension on its way to 1.618, and I think if it gets to that 1.618, I shall grab that. The next one is REGS, which is in fact gone through the 1.618 extension, so we need to watch that up there. So only bought into that I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago when the short-term trend moved up. Rather impetuous, I know. If you want to spare yourself this angst, let's just wait for the color guard on the front of VectorVest to be saying yes, and the longer term measures, certainly the DEW, to be saying yes, and then things tend to go an awful lot easier, okay, if you follow the rules. All right, maybe I'm getting too old and too conservative, but ladies and gentlemen, there are old traders and there are bold traders, but there are no old bold traders out there. I keep talking about gold. Let's look at the UK market. That's the UK market, right? The UK market, we still got a confirmed up situation. We're in an up situation. VectorVest advocates caution when buying stocks at this time. The UK market being given a bit of a gust of wind because of the pound falling due to Brexit, and the pound falling based on reports from the Bank of England that negative interest rates are on their way. At least the Bank of England are preparing for that eventuality, so that hasn't done sterling any good at all. Nevertheless, it's helped the stock market in the short term. Just remember, folks, that invariably sooner or later the UK market will go the same way as the American market. If the American market were to carry down, sooner or later we'll go with it. So, but I'm hoping that if there is any weakness in the American market, it's going to be short-lived. Our market looking quite strong, and as you can see, there is the The UK market, if I put on the last confirmed call on the 27th of April, and we're still going. If you're following the VectorVest worry-free prescription, then you'd still be holding stocks, okay, in this period. If I put on the DEW unfortunately got whipped here, and that's what happens when markets go sideways. DEW, awesome signal after a major sell-off, and that happened on the 7th of April, one day after the American signal. As you can see, it doesn't particularly like sideways markets, and the current signal, however, is up. All right, so the longer term measures in the UK market up, and as you can see, the shorter term measure is up as well. So I'm holding positions in the UK. They haven't done a great deal, but nevertheless holding those positions in the UK. Now, a couple of days ago I spoke about gold, and of course gold, I keep telling people that gold is not for the faint-hearted. Nobody listens to a word I ever say until they have a go themselves. And ladies and gentlemen, gold has got a temper on it, a bit like my ex-wife, I'm afraid, red hair, and you only find that out when you actually trade it. So the gold price, the two levels that I spoke about on Tuesday, I think, on the upside 1978, on the downside 1908, and if you have a look at the bullion chart, you'll see that the market in fact challenged that 1978 level twice and was rejected up there twice, and in the process charted what technicians refer to as tweezer tops. We had a long discussion yesterday at the Oxford user group about the power of tweezer bottoms and tweezer tops, and one of our traders there, Steve, reckoned that it is the strongest in fact candle pattern out there, and Steve has a great deal of experience in short-term trading. So I suggest that if you're not in gold stocks, wait for a break of that 1978 level. I think it's going to get quite noisy in some of the stocks until that happens. So I have those stocks all lined up somewhere. Here they are. Polymetal. Now, the financial director, whose name I cannot pronounce, I've tried it, but I would have made a shambles of it. In fact, sold £230,000 worth of shares in it, and that gave the market the creeps. I suspect, ladies and gentlemen, we're off again today, but I suspect that this is coming to here. Okay? I suspect we're going to come down and kiss that top before this goes again. As you can see, the earnings per share is great. It's undervalued, and there is a bit of a shakeout going on at the minute. So unfortunately, that is something we're going to have to live through. The VectorVest stop loss should in fact hold that position. The last time I looked, it was off 4% today. So I suspect that the orders are all down here. I myself am underwater on that, and that happens frequently in gold, folks. I bought just here on that up day. I thought that that level was going to hold, and I was wrong. So as I'll say it again, folks, don't go anywhere near gold if you want some plain sailing. Gold can be difficult. So I suspect we're going to come to here, and it'll make a decision. With any luck, the VectorVest stop loss will hold that particular position. Griffin Mining is a share that we did reasonably well in, and I haven't got a position in Griffin Mining at the moment. This is Hummingbird, which Charlie from Lincolnshire likes the look of. Very, very strong in here. My recommendation is still the same, that you sit and wait until it breaks that level, which it hasn't done as yet. Earnings per share is good, and volume, as it goes sideways, no sellers. That's a really, really good story, folks. That's a really good story. Pan-African Resources has broken up very nicely indeed, and it's now pulling back to kiss that level. We can't expect anything more. Markets invariably break and they kiss. As long as gold stays above that 1908 level, then I think we're reasonably happy. I think it's got. I was worried about a quick rundown on the bullion market to run the last stop, which is down around about 1850. I think that's less and less possible now, but nevertheless it certainly could occur. So just be very careful about that. There could be a bit of pain ahead. I'm hoping that this one will pull back to that level and all will be good. And that's the bullion ETF, BULL.L. I just put it up to show what the gold market is doing, folks. Somebody emailed me to say that it was very illiquid. Of course it is, but as you can see, gold market pulled back, and it's pulled back to that top of that little triangle. I think gold is fine. I think on Monday afternoon I'll spend a great deal of the afternoon in fact talking about copper, because copper would seem to be in a major bull market, and CAS seems to be doing its best to push through that £6 level. There's a great deal of resistance at £6 on CAS. If CAS can get through that £6 level, then I think it's got quite a quick run up to probably £7 or £8 relatively quickly. There are a few other shares that can do exceptionally well out of copper as well. So at our Q&A on Monday afternoon, I'm going to be looking at copper in a great deal of detail. It is my view that we've got a multi-year bull market in commodities to come. The only thing that I can guarantee is it will not occur in a straight line, and that it'll be a great place for a trader to be. So let's just go back to the American market if I can find it, and as we can see, we've got a situation with the advances and the declines pretty much the same, and the S&P is off 7.5 points, not the end of the world. Okay, so I hope this helped. I look forward to seeing you all at our weekly Q&A on Monday afternoon at 1:30, where I'll do my best to go through the whole market in a great deal of detail. Anybody listening that's not a VectorVest member, if you would like to come along, then email me and I'll send you a one-off invite. Trader, TRADER, D for David, AVY @gmail.com, and I'll send you an invite for that. Thanks very much. Bye bye.